All right, guys, I'm only going to go over a couple, probably like the odds or the left sides. I need the talking to stop. You will need to use your formula chart. This is the last section is basically our last test, which is surface area and volume. So you need to be in this section of your formula chart. So you need to make sure you're writing down the formula or you recognize the shape. I think they'll tell you in the problem. So here they tell you it's a rectangular prism. They want you to find surface area and volume. To do total surface area, I put it over here, sorry. This is the formula is pH plus 2b. They tell you that this rectangular prism is a 6 by 4 and the height is 3. So 6 by 4 would be here, the height is 3. So to find the total surface area, you need to know the perimeter of the base. So that is the distance around this 6 by 4 rectangle, because this is your base. So the perimeter here would be 20. We also need to know the capital B, which is the area of the base. That is 24. So we're just plugging into the formula. I'm just going to substitute to show the plugging in. So we're going to put parentheses 20 here. The height of the prism is the 3 plus 2 times the area of the base of the prism was 24. So this gives us 60 here plus 48, which gives us a total surface area of what? Yeah, 108 units squared. Now to find the volume, V is capital BH. We already know the B, we just did that. Capital B is the area of the base, which is 24, so I'm just going to substitute that for B. And then we're multiplying by the height, which is the 3. So I'm going to do a couple from the last section here. I can't help but to say, I truly believe by failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. And some of you are not doing these problems and practicing doing the problems, and I'm worried about your final exam. It's not going to just be given to you guys. You're going to get what you earn. This part says find the lateral area of the cylinder. So they already tell us what we're dealing with. If you're not sure what that formula is, you could go to the formula chart. Lateral area is right here. Cylinder is 2 pi RH. We're going to keep our answers in terms of pi. So all I need for this formula is the radius, which is right here. Okay, thank you. So our radius is 2. And then we need the height of the cylinder, which is here, which is 6. So we're just plugging in the parts, guys. So we keep the 2, we keep the pi. We substitute the r with 2. We substitute the h with 6. We multiply these together. 24 pi is our answer, millimeters squared. So on 64, they want you to do the total surface area for this cylinder. To do the total surface area, it is 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. So you just, again, need the r and the h to do this. You want to keep it in terms of pi. Now on 65, they tell you that you have a slant height of a regular square pyramid. It is 8. So this 8, this line here in the middle is the L, which represents the slant height. L is the symbol for slant height. It says that each base, this is a square pyramid, that means all the edges of the base are going to be the same. So they're all 6. They want us to find the lateral area of this pyramid. If you don't know the formula, you go to your formula chart. Pyramid has a lateral area formula of S equals 1/2 PL. So we're going to put S equals 1/2 capital P L. Well, the capital P stands for the perimeter of the base. That is 24. And the slant height, the L is your slant height. That is the 8. So we're just doing half the product of those two numbers. Or if you want to think of half of the first two numbers, which is 12, then times 8. Either way, multiplication is commutative, so order doesn't matter. So hopefully you got this already. Was it 96? Yeah, 96 centimeters squared. $66 is the same as 65, just a different dimension. So the same formula is needed, same setup. Then when you get to this page on, now we're starting to look at a mixture of volume and surface area. So starting with 67, they want the volume of a square pyramid. The formula for a pyramid, the volume, is 1/3 capital BH. So it says it has a slant height of 17, and it says the length of each base is 16. So the capital B, because it's a square, oops, sorry. It's 16 by 16, which is, I think, 256. Now, what we need is the height of the pyramid, which we have to use the slant height. So like in the pyramid, this is our slant height, the 17. The height of the pyramid has to be vertical and perpendicular. So you would create a triangle using your edge, but not the whole edge. You would use only half of it, which is the 8 of the 16. So to find our missing height, you're going to have to use what? Yeah, Pythagorean Theorem. I think this is a triple. If you do 8 squared plus x squared equals 17 squared, it comes out to a whole number, I believe. Anyone find it? Yeah, it's 15. So h ends up becoming 15. So now we have our parts. We're doing 1/3, our capital B, which was 256, and our h, which is 15, to find the volume. Here you're going to have to work backwards using the formula. So we're dealing with a cone that has a slant height of 13 and a lateral area of 65 pi. Then you want you to find the total surface area. Well, to find the lateral area of a cone, that is pi RL. Because I already know the total lateral area is 65, then I can plug that in for the formula. So 65 pi is going to equal to pi times my radius, which I don't have, but I do have my slant height, which was 13. So I need to find the R, the missing radius, so I can find the total surface area. To solve for R, you're just going to divide both sides by 13 pi. This will cancel, leaving the R isolated. My radius here is 5. Now that I know that radius, oops, it's not gonna let me move it, sorry. So let me put it up here at the top. Now that I know r equals 5, to find the total surface area of a cone, it is pi RL plus pi radius square. But we already know this part. That was the lateral, which is that 65 pi. But now I need to find the area of the base using my radius, which is pi times 5 squared. Comes out to be 25 pi. So the total is adding these together, and that would be 90 pi centimeters squared. So in order to find the total or the missing part, you're going to have to plug it into the formula and work backwards. So 70 is like this problem. If you look at 71, it says the volume of the sphere is 2,304 pi centimeters cubed. Find the radius. Well, the formula for volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. We know the volume is this 2304, so I can plug that in for the V. I'm just going to move it over here. Equals the 4/3 pi radius cubed. We need to find the radius, so we're trying to isolate the r, but there is a fraction here. So you can say divide by 4/3, it's the same thing, or you can say multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm just going to divide by 4/3 pi, so I can get all things at once. Here, my pi's are going to cancel, so all I need to do is put the 2,304 divided by 4/3. I need to open my calculator. Or multiply by 3/4. Let's see. I should have put it in parentheses, sorry. Alright, so we get 1728, but that's just r cubed, guys. So this one, I cancel these out. I get my radius cube equals my radius cube. So to find just the r, you have to take the cube root of that number. If you forgot how to find that on the calculator, you hit math and then pick 4 to get the cube root symbol. And we get 12. Now that we know that the radius is 12, oops. Then we can, oh, that's all they want us to find, sorry. So we're just finding the radius by working backwards. Yeah, it's the next one that they want you to plug it back in to find the volume, yeah. So on 73, they give you the surface area of the sphere is 324 pi centimeters cubed. They want you to find the volume. The formula for surface of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. So you take the 324, plug it into your surface area. That's going to equal to 4 pi radius squared. We need to solve for the radius. We need the radius squared to be isolated, so that means divide by 4 pi. So that, yep, the pi's can cancel. Yes, we get 81 is our radius squared. That means 9 is your radius, yes. So now that we have that, they want you to find the volume. using the formula 4/3 pi r cubed. So we're going to substitute, I'm just going to show the substitution. We're going to substitute that radius, which is 9, and do 9 cubed first, and then multiply it by 4/3. So 9 to the 3rd power, we get that, then we're multiplying it by the 4/3. Yeah, keep it in terms of pi. Yes, 972 pi. Guys, this was one of our most missed. Understanding a hemisphere is half of a whole sphere. I want you to find the volume of the tent. So some of you did this on the test, which is fine to start off with this. Oops, sorry. But then you have to divide it by 2. You've got to take half of it. When you do that, this gets simplified as 2/3 pi r cubed. Understand that the part that they're showing you here, this is the diameter. It's not the radius. So your radius would be 7.5. And you need to cube that first. All right, and then the last section here is remembering how the ratio or the scale factor affects volume and surface area. So they tell you the volume of the larger prism is 128 centimeters cubed. If the prisms are similar, what's the volume of the smaller? So they're trying to show you the 2 here. Here is your ratio. It is 4/3. So your scale factor is 4/3. But for volume, what do you have to do to that scale factor? Yeah, for volume, you take the scale factor and you cube it. So that means I'm taking the 4/3, I cube it. I believe that gives me 64/27. 128 is the larger centimeters cubed. I'm running out of room, but this should be 128 on the top and x on the bottom, and then you cross multiplying. So volume, you cube it. For area, sorry. Oops, sorry. You just square your scale factor. So this is requiring you to do some working backwards. Kind of mixed practice. You have multiple choice there. On 81, the volume of the cube is blank times greater than the smaller. You can see here's 2 to 8. We're trying to figure out what did they do. What is the scale factor just between the 2? It would be 4. 2 times 4 gives me 8, but for volume, I have to take that 4 and cube it. So this would be 64 times greater. We have some more working backwards. Numbering gets off. This is the area of a square is 169 square units. So if it's a square, all the sides are the same. So hopefully you see that has to be 13. 13 times 13, or 13 squared, equals 169. So then they just want you to take that information and find the perimeter. Okay, so If you have some done for the next check, just bring it up here. I'm like, I know it's the end of the year, guys, but you got to do your part. And copying somebody else's work is not helping you get prepared. Like, that's the problem. You're not doing your part. You got to do these problems to be prepared. I can't stress enough how similar this final is like this review practice. If you have questions, just bring it to my attention, please. Like I said, I'll do one more check before you leave for the check that was due today. So if you still have not finished, what was it, up to all the area problems? Yeah, so it's, yeah, all these area problems right here. It was like a page and a half. Yeah. If you still haven't finished that, and you have it done before you leave, just show it to me, please.